Africa.
Hey YouTube, I'm trying to get out the bed. My husband's surgery is scheduled for April the 3rd. They're going to remove his spleen, half his pancreas, along with the 4 centimeter cancer tumor and some neighboring lymph nodes. They say he should be healed up about a month after that, and then he will do about 6 months of chemo after that. I look a mess, I know. It's hard to explain. I would never leave somebody that has cancer, and I'm not that type of person. I can't even, I don't care how low energy I am, how disappointing it is that I have to stop my life for probably 8 months to a year to take care of him. That's just all that I know how to do. So he was saying, my guy friend was saying, I told him that was a messed up thing for you to say. Like, why would you take care of him? He just took a woman to the Bahamas. Why she can't take care of him? You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been together 8 years. It'll be 8 years now. And we both are each other's support system, whether we were living in the same house or not. That hadn't changed. And therefore, I'll be his support system now. It's not even, I didn't even have to convince myself of it or think twice about it. It was just, automatic. I just started thinking about everything that I need to be doing and to help him do to get through this as comfortably as possible. So relationships, men in my generation anyway, for women, they're jobs. I mean, it sounds messed up, but basically men are jobs for women. And that's why, you need to make sure the job that you choose gets you things that you want and that they pay well. Because there's a lot of times as a woman in these days that you put your life on hold for a man, or you just put everybody first, over yourself for men. So a living. But like if I'm gonna be, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. All I know is I need to pull myself together, fix myself up, make myself look better. I think a lot of the low energy is just from the time change. Like right now it's 10 and it's like 7 in Rwanda. So, and I usually don't like to break my fast until 3 or 4. So 3 or 4 in Rwanda is like 10 or 11 in the States. So I'm eating too early, like almost, a few hours after I get up. And my schedule's just off. I started taking my vitamins again. And the 5-HTP, which I call it my brain pills, but 5-HTP is really good for depression. It's just a lot, it's just a pause. I was thinking that, I told my employees that I have left, that I still want them to work on the marketing, which is the editing of the videos. I still want them to work. I'm not posting. I don't know. I'm not going to be posting, but I don't want to leave that unfinished. I just figure I could work on my patent, on the computer while I'm at the house with him. He's going to be in the hospital for the surgery between 5 to 7 days. Then he'll be in the bed kind of for another 2 weeks. And then the 4th or 5th week, hopefully where they cut him will be healed up to where, 5 or 6 weeks, he can go ahead and start his chemo. So they said they're going to give him the very aggressive chemo. He will have it 1 day a week for 4 weeks and then be off 1 week the 5th week and do that for 6 months. So that's a lot. I feel so, I mean, we don't get along, but he is he's a good person. Everybody has their flaws, including me. My patience just wasn't that good with him, with the things that were very irritating to me. There's a lot of things that irritates me about him. Even now, I was in the hospital and he was just interrupting me, not wanting me to talk, like he's kind of, because he's old school. He's 65, so he's kind of like, and he's a Christian into the church. So, they believe in all of that. A woman, the man is the head, and you can't get to God. You got to go through the man, and, I'm the leader, regardless if you're smarter or not, or if you know best. They just think because they're the man that they're the leader. And actually, I was in the car with him the other day, and I had me, him, and my dad. So let's ride to the casino, take my dad to the casino, and because he hadn't been, and we were talking about something. He actually started shushing me, shh, and I was just like, I'm great, cuss this man out. He's lucky my daddy's in the car. Because see, stuff like that would have got him cussed out, something terrible, When my daddy was in the car, and I was just like, just kept on doing it, like I'm a child, Even in the hospital the other day, he was telling me something about his grandson, and he had said what he wanted to say. So I was like, oh, he probably needs to go on an organic diet. Don't let them, just wait a minute, I'm talking, just shit like that. I cannot deal with it. I can't deal with it, And some people get really mean when they're sick. I hope he doesn't do that, because I'm not going to. I'm just gonna go in the other room. That's why I told him I'll just make one of the bedrooms my room, and then we'll leave one room for a guest room for his relatives that want to visit. But I don't care how sick you are. I'm not going to be putting up with that. There was a lady that had posted on the Next Door Neighborhood app. We had a tornado, a small windstorm come through, and she would post it on the Nextdoor app that, her garage door got blown off and everything was blown around, and she really needed somebody to come and help her because her husband's handicapped and she had been taking care of her husband. And so my son and I, we volunteered. We went over there and helped them organize the garage and a lot of things that she needed organized in the house. Her husband was in a wheelchair. And when I tell you, he was mean and evil to her, and my son and I kept looking at each other like, did this man just say this to her? I'm talking about cussing her, degrading her. I don't know how that woman didn't poison him and get him on up out of here, but I guess she was so used to the abuse and probably had been going through that. And I don't know. I just can't imagine it. I just can't imagine it, but he's being really, he's just being himself. You know what I'm saying? He's just being himself, but I don't want that to get to a point to where I'm not going to be mentally abused. I feel bad enough for him, and worried about him enough that to stack some emotional mental abuse on top of that. I'm not going to be able to handle that. I think that I'll be in the backside of the house. I think that so I'm not going to leave him. You know what I'm saying? So I think that just stepping away, and when I'm feeling emotionally abused, just go back in my room and leave it at that. So it's a long journey. My mother died of bone cancer, and she had went home to her mother when she started chemo, and I only saw her in the hospital. They had her knocked out. She was kind of delirious. I wasn't not there for any of the chemo. She went really quick after they found out, like within 3 months. And my uncle, he died of cancer. I wasn't there for his treatments, but I saw him in the hospital. And then an old family associate of mine that I don't deal with anymore, their father died of cancer at home. And I watched them one night for them to get them a break. It was the most horrible, horrible thing I've ever seen in my life. It was horrible. It was horrible. I had a nervous breakdown just trying to watch him. He was in so much excruciating pain. I had actually called my husband to come over there because I had a nervous breakdown. And I was trying to give them a break. but he you know, he was dying. And it was horrible. It was horrible. And I tell you, it's like they will put a horse out its misery, but they'll let a human being suffer. It's crazy, you know. And I have already decided that if I get some type of cancer that's incurable or that's going to leave me in so much pain, I'm going to one of them states and I have me a death party and let myself, because I know that we go on. I know we go on. Everybody that I know that's died comes to me. Everybody. I know we go on. You know, so, you know, I think that you don't want to go in pain, you know. And I used to believe, yo, you won't feel no pain because Jesus will come and get you, you know, out of your body. And so therefore your body won't feel any pain. You won't feel any pain. But now I believe that, you know, you can probably mentally escape the pain and leave, you know, and go on. You know, I don't know, but just sitting up suffering like that, I don't know. And then I'd rather just, I think Hawaii is one of the places where you can go and decide, you know, when you want to pass. Um a few other states, three or four other ones I've read. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I've read that, you know, it's possible. I just, the suffering, no matter, and even I was watching a lady that had the surgery, uh, like my husband has to have. She was just like, the pain was excruciating. And she's still alive though, you know, so because his is still contained in the tumor, um, he can be back to, you know, not the same quality of life, but he can have a great quality of life. And he's very athletic. He does football, basketball, little league refereeing, so he keeps in shape. He's done that for 20 something years. He's very athletic. So I believe that, you know, the change in his diet, because with me there, he already know he gonna be eating healthy. he's he already knows. Even when we were living together, when we first got married, you know, he was like, his doctor was like, hey man, you know, he had been going to the same doctor for so many years. What have you been doing? Like, I've never seen you, you know, this healthy, all your numbers. What have you been doing? He was like, oh yeah, I got this new wife and, you know, she cooks from scratch and she eats healthy and, you know, she don't really eat meat and all of that. And, you know, he was like, that was the healthiest. His doctor was like, that was the healthiest he's seen him in 20 years, you know. So he's getting himself ready because he knows ain't gonna be no meat. I'm not, you know, maybe his family or relatives will bring him some, but we'll be on a vegetarian, dairy-free diet, um, mostly organic and fresh. And, you know, I've been reading about it nonstop. You know, without your spleen, you can get a lot of infections. Without your pancreas, you can't break down food. You're not supposed to have fried food, dairy, or sugar. So I told him, you know, eat up everything. You should be going to dinner every single day till this surgery, eating everything. He had oxtails yesterday, eating up everything you want to eat. And I've been looking up, I have good recipes. You know, I love to eat vegetables and fruits and everything plant-based. You know, once you find the good brands of stuff or learn how to make stuff yourself, it's fine. You know, you season it up as well as you can with some herbs and spices, and you can pretty much, you can have a lot of delicious food that's filling and delicious. And when you go back to processed food or too much sugar, your body feels it. And I believe that's why I'm feeling it now. You know, getting back from Rwanda and all of this, pretty much I ate vegetables every day, a little fruit and some grains, you know, like my stomach, I've been tired, I've been feeling down. I know a lot of it is the food. And I still been eating like vegetables, but I've been eating processed food. Like I've been going to Velvet Taco, getting salmon tacos. I went to the store yesterday, got a salad, but it's all processed. You know, the dressing was processed. I had some bread. I haven't been eating any breads. They do not have gluten-free bread over there, really. That's good. So I had a cucumber and tomato with mayo and onion sandwich yesterday. But I had some fried fish from Catfish Connection, which is the bomb. When I first got home, I was craving that, and that has gluten. So I'm not supposed to have gluten, but that fish is so good. They only put a little bit in there, so I had some of that. Sodas. I've been having sodas. The Dr. Pepper in the bottle with the real cane sugar. Chips. I've been having, so just all kinds of processed stuff that I really wasn't eating that much, over there. So it's a huge difference. Your diet is a huge difference, so I'm going to try to pull myself together. I mean, I just been throwing some stuff on, running to the store, pretty much just staying in the bed, resting up, besides going to the hospital. I believe he's going to be okay. His quality of life would be a lot different, but he's such a positive thinking, and he's already thinking in the future and projecting positive things, him doing his same activities and everything, which is really good. I don't want him to be unrealistic. Let's make some realistic goals, I feel like, but he has good goals. We just need to extend the time out a little bit, so yeah, welcome to the backstory. The house is a mess. I haven't cleaned. I haven't put away all my clothes. I haven't finished packing up the tree. I haven't done anything. I just been sleeping and eating processed food. Going to the hospital and reading. Basically, I've been just doing a lot of reading about pancreatic cancer and everything I need, to try to get together before the 3rd to help support him. So I think maybe I'll go lay out or something for a couple days. His daughter's going to come after he gets out the hospital from his surgery and help. So I think that maybe during that week that she comes, if she doesn't need me, I'll go lay out. Go to Florida or something, lay out for a couple days, get some sun. So yeah, just checking in this morning. I'm going to try to pull myself together. I watched this lady, Tanya TKO, and she says, you don't owe anybody your beauty. This is the way I look. I don't have to fix myself up. I don't owe anybody my beauty, but I do feel like I owe it to myself. Because you feel better when you look better. So I'm going to try to fix myself up today. Shampoo my hair. Maybe put some lashes on or something. Plus, I don't want to go around him looking like this. I want him to see me looking pleasant so that he can feel better. So, thank you. Subscribe. Share. I guess these videos are going to get posted. My employee today, she said she's done with 2021. So 2022 was horrible. It's like every time I get back from Africa, like it's like a whole breakdown in my life. Like when I came back last time, my dad got sick and went through all that mess. Now I come back this time, my husband's sick. I don't know. She came onto the country shores as if she were a 100-year storm. Most would heed the warning in time. Take shelter before even catching the enticing smell of the beautiful coming rain. A few godlike men, yet untamed by Mother Nature, would embrace the strong, somehow comforting change of winds.
allow themselves to take up the treasures revealed left behind her impassioned path, knowing her omnipresence is in the same nature of themselves, which called unto the storm.